Tonight on DFI Magic Themes, we are going to build a Rank and Rent website within 5 minutes. Well, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be around the world. Good to see so many people in the group tonight. First in tonight was Steve Dimmock. Well done, Steve. And we're going to get going very shortly. We're going to actually build the Handyman site tonight within 5 minutes flat. This is what it's all about here on DFI Magic Themes. Very good evening to you. Well, hello. Good to see so many of you in the room tonight. Very exciting. Been a busy old week, hasn't it, Robert?
I don't even know what happens to the week, to be honest. But first I want to say something, Steve.
Yep.
Look, every week we come on here, and your enthusiasm and your ableness to get people excited is so overwhelming sometimes. The music, the intro, just getting started is an upbeat, uplifting moment. And I just want to say thank you for that, because it's effort. If I was the one coming in to introduce everybody every week, you guys would be sleeping by the time you got started. But I just hear you, and I hear the you're so excited to get going and move on to the next step. I just love that. I think it's awesome.
Brilliant. Let's do a quick shout to some people in the room. We've got Bob, Barry, Chris, Guest, whoever that is, Laurie, Lynn, Paul, and Sarah popping in the room. And of course, Steve Dimmock was in first of all. And Steve Dimmock says in here, bar humbug, I'm not excited. Hello. He also says hello from sunny Florida. It makes a change for it to be sunny than all the bad wind you've had there lately, Steve. I mean, shouldn't have been eating those baked beans, but there we go. And Laurie says, hi, everyone. This is going to be awesome. And the thing is, we do get set in our way sometimes with what we talk about, and we want to always give you guys value. And it wasn't until in the week where we realized that actually what we should be doing is showing you again what this is all about, how quick and easy it is to put one of these sites up, because it's not difficult to put one up. Now, when we show the training, we're going to go from the point where WordPress is already installed, because I don't want to teach people how to suck eggs when it comes to installing WordPress. If you're a member with us and you've got the Rank and Rent training, we show you that in the members area. Automatically, you follow the step-by-step training to get your WordPress set up. It's not difficult when you follow the easy step-by-step training, even if you've never done it before. My own daughter had to go a few weeks back building a site for me, and she went dun, built.
Let me just say something, Steve. Even if that is intimidating to you, it is no reason to stop you from going forward. If the thought of putting WordPress on a domain name, I mean, the thought of I have no idea where to start. you start with the training, and the training goes through buying a domain name, where to go and look for a domain name. What would be the best domain name that you could go for? I mean, that's how far we took it back, because we know there are people that will get stuck. And putting that aside, I know for myself and I know for Stephen, if that is so intimidating that it's stopping you from going forward, the only thing that you have to figure out is being able to turn in a support ticket. I'm stuck. I don't know how to get a domain name. I don't know how to do this. I don't know. If you don't tell us where you're stuck, or if you don't know how to post in the group, you got to at least find a support account in your account and turn in a support ticket. We'll jump on a call with you. We'll get you going. It's really that important to me, that important to Stephen, that you guys do that. If you don't turn in a support ticket, we don't know you need help. That's the bottom line. We can't help those. I'm just not that good. Maybe Stephen is, but I don't have that crystal ball to tell me that such and such a person needs help getting going. If you don't raise your hand, we don't know. Are we willing to help if you raise your hand? Absolutely. And there may come a day when we can't, we have other people helping us. But right now, you need help, you raise your hand. You go into the inner circle and you say, I'm stuck, I don't know how to do something. There's a roadblock. The mental block is me. I'm stuck. I can't get past my own thoughts to go out and get going. Those are real things for people. And, Stephen and I don't have the answer for everybody, but I'll tell you what, probably years of my time invested in where I am today could have been saved. Years worth of time had I had people that I could raise my hand and say, help me do this, help me figure this out. They weren't available to me. I bought and I bought and I bought, and I never got the support I needed, even in multi-$1,000 coaching programs, right? You guys have an opportunity here to get the answers to your questions, to get started, to get other people to help you in this community. The reason why this community exists today is because of me and because of Stephen, because we realized there's a problem. There's a null in how these courses are taught and how they're given to people to go out and do something. We're always transparent with everybody that we talk to. We don't know everything, but we have a lot of people that we can get answers from, that we can get help from. And we go to those people. We have tremendous developers that help us with the things that we're creating. We're not able to always have the mindset and the ability to do some of these things that the devs can do, because that's what they've trained on. We haven't. However, we're trying to put this all together for you guys to make it super simple to get built, done, and move forward. And that's the truth. That's the honesty of all of this. The whole Defiers community is built on me first, Stephen reaching out to Stephen and saying, I need help. I'm at my wit's end. I can't give up on this. I want to go forward. Please help me. Charge me whatever you have to charge me, but help me get going. And after we did that, and I built my first site, and I said, no, there's got to be a better way for people. There's got to be a better way for them to get answers and get started. Don't send me to a support desk that I'm never going to get an answer back. That doesn't work. So we said from day one, we're going to help anybody that will ask us for help, and we'll do as much as we can to get them going. We can't get them up in the morning. We can't get them to make their bed, get their teeth brushed, go eat. We can't do that. But if you can raise your hand and say, I need help, I can't get started. Can we do that every day? No, we can't. But I promise you, the offer is there, and we're genuine about it.
Absolutely. Now, before we get into the training, I know last week I was talking about the CloudKey birthday deal that some people miss out on. Now, I'm not sharing this with you guys for you to go and sell you anything, because those that got in on it last year were already in on it. But October the 1st, and I think it's around about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they are doing their CloudKey birthday bash. And if you turn up, you don't have to purchase a thing, by the way. They're giving away goodies, T-shirts. I've got my flask. Brilliant. I've got this brilliant flask. It's got a cork bottom on it. It keeps your coffee hot all day. And a chance to win what they called remarkable tablet, which you can't see because of my green screen situation here. But let's see if I can line it up.
That's how remarkable you can't see it.
There we are. Remarkable tablet.
It's
and they're giving away 2 of those on it. So I'm going to put a link inside. You just need to go and sign up. I'll put it inside Zoom, and I'll share it on Facebook at the end of this. Loads of different goodies to give away. Doesn't cost anything to join, and you can go and see what we've talked about throughout the year. How I use L Messenger Pro to get people into our groups. We've done the DFY training in the members area for that. Anyone who hasn't got it, open the support ticket. I'll make sure we get a link to you. And I'm doing, in a few weeks' time, advanced training. At the moment, I'm in the middle of still recording and getting correct the Magic Ranker version 2. I'm halfway through the training, and this week I'm hoping to get that finished. We've had a lot of different level things to sort out, including recording an extra training for the directory site, which I know Bob Trace wanted to have it inside of the system. And so if you go to the directory site in your members area now, there's a video on how to bulk upload all your people you want to add to the directory site. That's in there now, that training. It's nice and easy. You can go and have a look. On other news, the sign-ups are going like mad for the boot camp we're planning in about 4 weeks' time on how to onboard customers. The response has been fantastic. If you're not on the email list, I'll make sure as well. In the circle members who are on the Zoom call, I will go and look now for that link for you, because I know some people signed up.
I want to be really, really clear so that we all understand. There's a boot camp for onboarding clients. There's training every Friday for how we're doing the builds. We just decided that Friday is going to be the day that we're going to come on here. We're going to do something short and sweet, and it's going to be about building a site. And we're going to do it every week, because that is the groundwork for everything that we do in Done4U Magic Themes. However, not everybody's at the same level. Some people have been at this for a year or 2 years, or have their own agency, and they don't need the basic build. So the boot camp comes in for onboarding clients. It's going to be a separate training than the trainings we're doing on Friday. But I don't want you to be confused when the word boot camp comes up and nobody knows where to go and what to do. There's going to be special training in the boot camp for onboarding clients that is separate than what we're doing on Fridays. Fridays, we're going to just keep doing builds and then add to it. The reality is, with the Done4U Magic Themes file, the build is done. It's 5 minutes. You're going to see that today. The build is done. Next week, or actually, I think we're going to give the second video today, is going to be the company information. That site is 98% done as soon as you've done those 2 steps, which, in reality, if you've never built a site before, is it intimidating? Can be, but all the training are the basic steps, and you're going to see it today. So just rewind a little bit. In the build, rank, rent, training area, in the members area, we go back to buying a domain name, setting up the DNS name servers, and then adding the domain name to hosting. If you have hosting with us, that's what we've trained on. If you guys want to have hosting with ABC company, you can do that, but we can't support ABC hosting. We support our hosting. And that's what we train on, because there's so many different hosting companies and so many different ways to do this out there. We can't support all of them. Now, that's all that we do in the training, and then you go from there to adding WordPress to that domain name. And you're going to see from that point forward is where we're starting at today. Again, if it's intimidating to you, and you're afraid where to get started, then you come back with a support ticket. And we help you any way that we can. If you can't find the BARR training and you are entitled to it, reach out to us. However you have to get a hold of us, Messenger, support ticket, the inner circle, we'll respond. Okay.
Absolutely.
But that's where you have to start. You have to start with that first build. Have to get going with that. And that's what we're just going to keep harping on that to make sure everybody has that done.
And with anything you want to get hold of us, the best way is to go to dfymagicthemes.com/support, log in or register if you haven't, and open a support ticket, because those support tickets hit my phone first before messages on Messenger or on Facebook. So if you want, that to be looked after on that, and if we don't get back to you quick enough or it's urgent, then ping me a message on Messenger saying there is a call open, and I will chase our guys to make sure that's looked after. But we're going to play this now. Lots going on, and then so the first part is the build, and then we're going to play the second part of adding the company info, and then we're going into the inner circle where we're going to where each week we're going to share tips and tricks like ranking your site, and all those inside information. If you're not a member of the inner circle, go to dfymagicthemes.com/live live for you, and you can sign up there. But once we're in the inner circle, it's only inner circle members who we're going to be talking to about these sites. But every week we're going to pick one of our themes, do the build. We won't necessarily add the company data every week, but we're going to keep building these sites so that locally for Robert and me, we have more sites built, because we're looking after people in our group so much that I've got some businesses who are paying me monthly and I look after them. I want a lot more. I want to be pulling in, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100 companies in my local area, and same with Robert, that we can just rent the sites out to, which is the idea. You build it and you rent it. Worry about ranking afterwards, because one thing that comes up a lot in groups is, oh, my GMB's been closed down. My whole account's got suspended. I had 10 GMBs. Don't worry about GMBs, right? Worry about getting your site up online. Worry about getting some videos online, ranking the videos with the Magic Video Ranker from us. There's a bunch of things you can do and still get plenty of leads into your site without a GMB. And you'll get found on Bing, Google. There's lots of search engines out there. There are other ways of doing this, which we will talk about inside the inner circle each and every week. But I'm super excited. I'm going to hit play, and we're going to watch this training right now on how to do the first install, which we're doing the Handyman site tonight.
All right, Robert and Steve here. We're going to do an install with the Done For You Magic Themes for Handyman. We're doing a sample build case study, if you will. We chose a domain name that didn't have the city in it, but we're going to install, like I said, Handyman on this freshly installed WordPress build. And we're going to go through the entire build for you guys to see what we do. You ready to start again, Stephen?
Absolutely, Robert. So let's get this build going. Inside of WordPress, come into plugins, add new. Do a search for WP Vivid. This is the one we want, and install. Make sure it says migration, backup, staging, WP Vivid by the WP Vivid team. No other ones will work. Like the one next to it says main WP, do not install that one. That works with main WP. So this is the one we want. Activate it. Now we want to come up to upload. In the members area of DFY Magic Themes, I downloaded the install file. So we're just going to drag it in there and click upload. Now this will take a moment or two to upload, pending on the speed of your internet. And so we'll just let this run for a moment. And then once it's uploaded, we're then going to continue.
So Steve, while this is uploading, I just want to say real quickly, to take a fresh WordPress and add a complete website takes a lot of time. The whole reason for Done For You Magic Themes is to save you that time and effort. So the file that Steve just brought in is a complete website that was built. We just simply stripped out the locations so that your file won't have locations in it. You add it to your domain name, and you're going to add in company information and location. Your site's built. That's the whole purpose of Done For You Magic Themes, to make a complete, with content, images, site build in minutes. And you can't do that on your own or a fresh build. It's going to take a lot of time to get that site up.
Absolutely. And just to add to that, all of our DFY Magic themes comes complete with the content. And we've installed the content in a way that is unique every time you install the site. We could install this site hundreds and hundreds of times and have a unique version of the site. And then when you add your location to it as well, that makes it even more unique for that build.
That's what makes the whole world go round. You know, you got to be unique, you got to be quick. And again, if you want to save a few dollars and not do Done For You Magic Themes, then you're going to spend months on time trying to figure it out to get one build.
Absolutely. So the upload is now completed, and you get this notification up here. We click OK, and now we're going to hit the restore button down on this file that we've uploaded. It's going to open up this window. I'm going to hit restore again. Are you sure you want to continue? Because this will overwrite the entire site. I've gone OK because it's a blank install, which is what we recommend you use when you're installing one of our themes. Now, once again, this will take a moment or two to run. And once it's completed, the site is then ready to log in.
You have to be patient. If you start clicking, you could break the build on your computer, but in reality, just let it run. It's going to take a few minutes. And again, it's installing an entire website, images, content, all the pages. So it does take a few minutes.
As you can see, it's on 95% already, nearly there. And it says restore completed. I'm going to click OK. It's going to kick us out of WordPress. And now at this point, what I'm going to do before we go to log in, I'm going to press enter. Now, as you can see, these have all of the shortcodes in them already. So some of this won't make sense if you aren't used to using shortcodes within your site. Now, in a moment, I'm going to log in and install the Magic Code Builder, which will then add the content to the site. Okay, so we're now inside the WordPress admin area, logged in, and check for updates straight away. Let's go into here. And it's always worth updating your themes and plugins on the site. So it's asking you to update them, do that straight away. Let's update. It says it's all completed and it's all done. Your next step is to come into plugins and add new. I'm now going to install the DFY MCB plugin from the members area. So as you can see, I've just downloaded the file, and we're going to now come in and do upload plugin. We're going to grab the DFY MCB plugin, pop it in, and click install now. We're going to click activate. And the first thing it's going to ask me to do is add my license key. So I'm going to do that now and come back after I've installed the license key. Okay, so I've pasted in my license key and then click activate. So once you've done that, hit refresh. And if all of this shows up like that, you've entered in your license key in the correct way. Let's go and visit the site and just see how it's looking as it is now. And as you can see now, we've got all the content added and listed on here. All of the menus are up here. We've got images inside of the gallery. This site, as it is, if I did nothing else to it, is ready to go. But of course, I want to add my phone number, public email address, formatted address, and all my company details to this site.
The whole purpose of showing you these sites is how easy they are to build. And we're going to take them step by step, and we're going to add the company information in the next portion of the training and keep going through a build so that you guys can see this is not rocket science. You can do this with the step-by-step training that Stephen and I provide for you in the members area as well as on our calls.
So that's the first part of it. You saw how quick and easy that is to do the install. and that has all the content on there ready to go. I mean, I've set sites up over the past few months, Robert, that literally have ranked themselves. In fact, I've got one site that ranked itself because I forgot to put the company data in, which will show you how to do that in a moment.
Oh, there's no question that, because that's what we do all the time. We get started, we start a build, then we don't get back to them for months. In fact, my agency site is still half built from the very beginning, and it's ranking for the local area. But the point of this is for you guys. You have to see that, Stephen, I know you edited some of that video. In real time, from beginning to end, that should have taken no more than a half an hour to buy a domain name.
That build there, that install is actually done in under 6 minutes in total, right? To that point, right? And you're right, you've got to buy a domain name, you've got to set your hosting up, you got to then install WordPress, and then you've got to install one of our themes. And yes, you know, if you're taking your time, you can, you know, do it slowly and gradually. You can have it done easily in an hour without a problem. You know, it's a case of following the training and just getting that site installed. It actually took me longer to buy a domain name and set the hosting up than it did to install the fully built site.
I get that, and that's why I'm bringing that up, because people that don't know us or haven't done it yet or are looking at maybe doing this sometime, you have to understand that it's got to go from A to Z. You have to have a domain name. You have to set up the name servers, because that's where the website's going to be hosted. So it has to be going to the right hosting account, which is what the name servers do. They tell the internet that this domain name is going to go to this hosting company, and that's where you're going to be able to put this website on this hosting company. Without those three things, you're not online, you're not live, you don't have anything. And just to step back one step further, if you guys aren't building an agency site or a site, we recommend the agency site first, because you got to be in business. And the agency site gives you the opportunity to have live demo sites connected to you, not to us, but to you, to offer this to clients or your customers. And that's why we say start with the agency site. If they're all the same, all of our builds do the same exact thing. WP Vivid, restore the file. You're technically not building the website. You're technically restoring a website that we built for you. Okay, that's the difference here, and that's why it's so quick. And because we spent the time, literally weeks and months, to do the content, to spin the content, to put it into the shortcodes, that effort of the technical ability is not for you to be worried about at the moment. All you have to do is get the site built, then add your company data, which Stephen's going to show that in the next video.
So we got a whole load of inner circle members in the Zoom room. So put one in the chat if you want to see the next part, which is actually filling the company data on one of our themes. It's just always useful to see. 1.9 from Bob, 1.1, lots of ones. Awesome. That's what I wanted to see, that interaction. So I'll share the screen now and I'll load the video up. This will take a little bit longer to go through, but you'll see us doing the company info throughout this next part. Okay, so we've built the site and we now want to add the company info. So come down to DFY MCB, click on Site Company Info, hit Edit on the first one, which is Website. We want to hit Text, paste this in here like that, and click Update. So Robert, while we're working on these, can you explain where this ends up on the site?
Well, first of all, what's very important about the company information is that all the shortcodes do need to be filled in. You might not see the apparent reason right away, but having, for example, the website in a shortcode means that anywhere that shortcode had been used would be now filling in your domain name of your website. That could go on legal pages, that could go in the footer area, and go anywhere in the site that may not be apparent to you right away. So it is important to fill in all the company information shortcodes.
Next, we want to come back to the Site Company Info tab. Let this load up. Now, the next one's got name, and I'm going to grab the name while Robert explains what the first name tab does.
And again, sometimes things aren't as clear to you when you're doing this, but Some companies have more than one person that would be a CEO, an owner, a manager, and then they'll also have another person that is the person that you're going to be calling to set the appointment, or a front desk person that's going to handling the arrangements for the appointment. So a name and a contact name could be the same person or two different people, depending on what company we're talking about now they're set up. So again, in this case, it's going to be the same name for contact as well as the regular name.
And so the first one would be your company director, would it? And the second one will be the person who would be contacted on the site. Is that the right way around?
That's correct.
So we're going to hit contact name and paste this in here and do update. Now we come back to company info again. And we've now got the public email address. Do you want to explain a little bit where that goes? Will I get the email address?
Well, anybody that is contacting or looking at your website is going to see a public email. Some people may not want to fill in an opt-in form, and they'll see an email address. They'll take it and directly email you for information about your services. So it's important that you have an email address that anybody that's on the site can reach somebody. It'll actually work and get to a contact. And that could be your client. That could be you yourself. That could be anybody that is connected to this website.
Not only that, in the footer down here, once you've added that to it, this becomes clickable. Now, we've already added the text to the short code on the page for mail to, so you don't have to worry about that when you add your email address into that short code. And when someone clicks on this, it will open up the email program accordingly. So we've now got the email address in there. So we're going to come back to site company info, work our way down, and we now want the company name. And this appears all across the site again, doesn't it, Robert?
Absolutely. So you do once, you put it in the shortcode, and anywhere that that shortcode's been used on its website, no matter how many pages there are, it's automatically filled in with that company name that you just put into that shortcode.
So again, it's in text mode. I'm going to paste in the company name and do update. And we're going to come back to site company info. Really important to make sure you get the right category on here. And I'm now going to find the next one. We want the formatted address. And I'm going to look that up inside of the system.
So for some of you, you'll have a full address for a business with numbers and street names. For others, you may not. Depending on how the site is being used, you either put in the full address that they can go to. It's an actual physical address that somebody can go visit. If it's not, and it's just for lead generation, you can put the city, the state, the zip, the general area. So that you can either put in, like I said, the full address or the general area.
So we're going to work our way down now, and we're going to find locality. I'm going to hit edit. What do we enter in for locality?
Locality, it's a generalized area. It can be a county. It can also be a city name. In different places of the world, things are written differently. So locality can be general area, like I said, could be Palm Beach County, for example, or versus the city of Wellington.
Then we want the state, and in the case of where you are, we're going to enter this in here. And of course, in the UK, this will be county instead of state. So, well, I'm based in Somerset in the UK, and Robert's in Florida. So we can do update now on that one. And we're going to come back to site company info again. So I've gone and done state, and now we want to do the country. Now, I recommend putting in the full version instead. So instead of doing USA, I'd always recommend putting inside of here the full version. Like, I'm in the United Kingdom, I wouldn't just put UK. I prefer to put the full version of United Kingdom in there. So let's come back to site company info, and we've done the country. Now we're going to do the zip code / postcode. I'm going to grab that. These codes, once again, Robert, they appear in various places across the site, wherever there is an address on there, don't they?
Absolutely. So remember, Google is looking at your site, every page, every piece of text that's on that site. So the more information we give Google for locality, for zip codes, for the county, the state, the country, it zeroes in on where this website is representing to make it rank for that area.
Yeah. So now we got two phones here. One's phone and one's phone code. What's the difference with these, Robert?
Well, obviously, there's, like you said, there's two different phones. One is for the appearance of the site, how it looks when they're looking at it, and the other one is for the actual function. So there's different places on the site where the phone number is listed. That is, if they click on it with a mobile device, i.e. a phone, a smartphone, the phone number will actually ring that company.
Yeah. And an example here, right? This is the one that appears visually on the page. So we've got dashes in between. We're now going to come back to the company info, and I'm going to find the code version, which is the clickable version of phone. Hit edit. And in here, we're not going to have dashes in it. We're going to have the full number, including any international code in front. So in this case, in America, you start with 1, and then the rest of the number. In the UK, you put 44, and the rest of the number. No need to put plus in front. It's just as it is shown there. And we'll do update, come back to the company info. So we've now added the phone number on the site. And if we come back to here a moment and refresh, as you can see now, the phone number's added. And in the bottom left-hand corner of my site, you can see it says TEL : which is going to make it a clickable number on a device that can call these numbers. Next,
that's perfect.
We've got the years of experience. What would you say if someone hasn't been running very long with a site?
If the site is going to go to a client, or if the site is going to go to somebody that you're going to try to rent it out to, you can start looking at those people. That's going to be who you're going after to on board, and look how long have they been in business. It depends on the niche to say, but many companies have been around for 50, 75, 100 years. And then other niches that are so new, it's going to be 3 to 5. You know, it's going to be a smaller number. So depending on the niche, be realistic in how long any of those companies could have been in business.
Absolutely. Now, with the price range, and I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, Robert, if you don't have a price range or you don't want to book one, you can always type in here, please call for more details. If you have got a price range, and let's say you don't know what to charge, right? Do some research on Google, get a pay-as-you-go mobile phone, make some calls out on it so that you're not worried about them calling you back on the number, on your normal number, and just say to them, out of interest, what does it cost to come out and put a cabinet together on, because I know you're a handyman. How much is it to fix my door? You know?
No, you're spot on with that, Steve, because people are looking for how much do they have to spend? Can I get a free quote? Will I know how much it's going to cost before you come out? And different companies have different price ranges to start from. Some people won't even come out to your home unless you're willing to pay a $200 service call, right? So your price range is perfect to say, you know, from $0 to $1,000, from $0 to $50, free, get a free estimate, call for an appointment. But you know, these are all things that people look at.
Absolutely. And I know this is obvious, but I'm going to put AM on here. So I'll put it into little letters, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if you're doing a plumber site and it's going to be a 24-hour plumber site or electrician, make sure you've got staff who can answer, people who can answer the calls to take the leads, and put 24 hours on here instead. But as you can see now, we've gone through very quickly and done this, haven't we, Robert?
And it's, you know, if you're set up to do these and you understand why you're doing it, you come in, you fill in the information, it takes a few minutes, and it's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And at the same time, if you're going to rent this to a client, you go and look at what they have for their time frames and match them. It all depends who's going to be looking at the site and what it's being used for.
Absolutely. Now, this is the cool thing now. As you can see, we've completed all the data, and it's got the company name on it. It's got the location on it, clickable phone number, clickable email address, and the main location. Now, there's two more things that we need to do on this site. One is if you want to direct this button to your own agency website, then this is how you do it. You come back to here and we go all short codes. And we're going to search for, in fact, it's right at the top here, but you search for agency website. You hit edit and you enter in here your agency website and do update. This one has got DFI Magic Themes in it, so we'll leave that as it is for the moment. There's a second point that we then need to do, and this is going to be the main location. So we're going to type in LOCAT.
It's actually right there on the screen.
Oh, it's down here. Perfect. Well spotted. So we come into the main location and hit edit. And now we want to change this, because if you look at the top of the page, it's currently going to say, need a handyman service in city location. So we're now going to change this to the main town, which is going to be Wellington. So I'm just going to copy this over.
So just to explain some of those differences, is these sites are able to do multi-locations. And if the physical address is in a city of Wellington, but we're not trying to get leads for that city. Say we want the city to be, we want to start generating leads for a company that wants a completely different location than Wellington. That's why there's a location shortcode. So we put it in that other city into that location shortcode. Let's say Royal Palm Beach is where he really wants to get more clients from. So the city is the physical address of a business, where the location tab is going to build the information about a city that you want to generate leads from. And we'll be able to do multiple cities with any of these builds.
And that also comes in useful because lately there's been a lot of news about GMBs getting shut down. Now imagine this, you've got an address that you can use, physical address, but it's not in the city you want to be in, but it's nearby, right? What you can do is set up a service area GMB, attach it to your address, so your address won't be shown on the GMB, but add all this data in here and say that your service area is Wellington when really you're in Royal Palm Beach. And that is perfectly allowed to be done by Google themselves. And it also means that what you could do technically, if you've got yourself a domain name, which was mylocalhandymanserviceswellington.com, as an example, you could then call yourselves Local Handyman Wellington and put that inside at the top of the GMB, providing your virtual business is called Handyman Wellington. Then that gives a keyword inside of the GMB. And then when they visit the site, the Google bots, it had to look, it goes, okay, Wellington, 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 all the way in the content, everywhere's Wellington, apart from the main address where it says office address, Royal Palm Beach. And that's why we have two different areas, one for location and one for the address on here. And there we go. So that's the setup of a install of one of our themes, the Handyman theme, and to enter all the company data in top to bottom. And that second part took about 14 minutes to do, filling in the boxes. We had obviously we had the information already on a spreadsheet which we put together, the address, the phone number, etc. But that whole build, if you think about it, not counting the install of WordPress, you can do the install and fill the company data out within half an hour. So it's going to take you slightly longer to get phone numbers together, to get addresses together. You want a quick way to rent a site out, get a site up, go and find somebody online who hasn't got a website, put their data in, their address, their company name, fill it out, and then message them and go, hey, I've got a website I built for you. Come and have a look. How much is it? Well, you got a choice. You can buy it off me for a one-time fee for 10K, or you can rent it from me, which is far more affordable for you, a couple $100 or $500 a month. You know, you can work out your pricing for yourselves. We prefer to rent the sites because then if they stop paying you, you rent the site to somebody else. When you got 10 of these sites rolling and renting all the time, if one of them stops paying you, not a problem. You got 9 others to support you financially. And we want to be in a situation with our Inner Circle members who already have our themes, to be building these sites. Get a site up. It's super exciting what we're doing here, and this replay will be inside the members area. I had a little issue with some replays in the week, and so there's a link to take you to the previous ones, and I'm getting that fixed in the week. But tomorrow I'll get this replay up for everyone for the Inner Circle members, so you can come and watch that. Now, what we are going to do is in a minute we're going to switch to the Inner Circle, and we are inside that Inner Circle going to talk about other things like ranking the sites, all sorts of bits and pieces as we go along with this, to show people how easy we want to build. Like I said, I want to build 10 of these sites up in my local area. I want to rank those sites locally, and then I want to get them rented out as soon as possible, because the clients who I've got on board at the moment are brilliant clients, because they just pay me month by month. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to do anything to the sites. They have been told if they want to add more data, they pay. If they want something of their own, they pay for that service on that site. They are renting the site and hosting.
Let me just say this. So for all of those that are watching that have never seen this before, are going to say it's duplicate content. The reality is it's not. Every time that site goes in and is looked at on a new browser, that content is written as spun content. So it changes. And each time that it's reloaded, it changes. Well, guess what? That's great for Google, because every time Google comes back and they recrawl in a different way, they get different content. So it looks like the entire website is constantly being updated. And that's fresh content in Google's eyes. So that's the magic of Done For You Magic Themes, is because it has spun content in it, right? For those that looked at that and were intimidated, it's because it's brand new to you. You have to look at it a few times. You have to get involved with it, and you'll understand it very quickly. I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. If you don't build, you can't learn. And you're never going to get any further than where you are. You have to take action. You have to go into the uncomfortable zone of, I don't know how to do this. And that's why you have a support system behind you in place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Taking action is the key to getting started. And once you have that, like I know, because I can feel it. There's so much on the left side. Look at all those categories. But at the end of the day, if you didn't have those categories, there's a simple search function in the MCB, the Magic Code Builder, that you can go search for a particular short code and it'll come up. You could search for content, which is a little bit broad, and every short code that involves content comes up. But we put them into separate categories, like company info, like social media, so you guys can get to them faster. Is it the only way that you can get to them? No. You can just do the search. You can go to all short codes, and you can look at everyone that's in there. So
that said, Robert, I will say we've got some older themes that our team are currently working on to make all the categories the same across all our themes.
Correct.
If you install one of the older themes and you're struggling to find a particular short code, open a support ticket. Our team will log into your site and help you fill that data in if you get stuck, because the older themes have older short codes in them. If you're interested in joining DFY Magic Themes, you can go to dfymagicthemes.com. and there's a page of different options there where you can sign up. If you're only interested in the Inner Circle to keep learning with us, then go to dfymagicthemes.com/live for you. We are going to switch now to the Inner Circle only, where we're going to be talking more about ranking your sites and other bits and pieces as we go along over the next few weeks with this training. In the meantime, if you're not in already, go to look on the group walls, because we will be having an announcement next week on how you can get your tickets to get in to the How to Find Customers boot camp. That's super exciting what we're doing with that, and we've got some really exciting news with some automations as well with that boot camp. I'm not going to get into it too much now, but we are now going to switch to the Inner Circle only. You can join if you like and find out what we're talking about. And if not, we'll see you guys in the free group, same time, same place next week.
Just hold your seats.